Can we use for loop to compute the sum of the elements in a vector? If we can find the number of elements in a vector, it should be easy to do so. We can compute the number of elements in a vector by using the length function. Then all we need to do is to have a for loop in which the iterator variables vary between 1 and the length of the vector. This is a basic idea of the myVecSum function that I have here. Note that again I have done this as an example of for loop. We know that if we use the built-in sum function in MATLAB for a vector, we can easily get the sum of elements in the vector, and we do not need to have a separate function for this purpose. In the next slide, I have also used a similar idea to compute the products of all elements in a vector. Again, there is already a built-in function in MATLAB which does that, and it is called prod function. Let's see another example. How would you find the smallest element in a vector? One way is to use a for loop that iterates over all the elements of a vector and keeps the minimum element found all the time. So, in the function that I have implemented, MATLAB takes the first element of the vector as the smallest vector, then it goes to a for loop that starts from the second element. In the body of the loop, if the second element is smaller than what we have set as the smallest element so far, then we need to update our smallest element. Otherwise, the smallest element remains the first element. The for loop then examines the third element. If this is 1, is smaller than the already found smallest element, then the smallest element becomes the third element. Otherwise, the smallest element will remain unchanged. In a sense, you see that the for loop always keeps the smallest element found so far. It continues to check all the items one by one until the last item and updates the variable that keeps the smallest element if necessary. Needless to say, you do not need this function at all. You could use the built-in function min and it gives you the same result. Similar to what we saw in the if-else statement, we can have nested for loops. The idea is the same as it's shown here in the general form. It is a for loop within another for loop. Now, how is nested loop useful? Let's see an example here. Let's say I would like to print a box of stars with some given height and length. For example, I would like to print a 3x5 boxes of stars. I can look at this box like this. I have printed 5 stars in a row and I have repeated this 2 more times. So I have 3 rows of 5 stars. So it seems that I must have a for loop that runs 3 times, and at each time it should print 5 stars in a row. Now how do I print those 5 stars? That's another for loop. I can use a for loop that prints 1 star 5 times. Each of those 3 rows independently require running this for loop. So you can see how a nested loop is forming here. I have one outer loop which runs 3 times. Each time it runs another for loop that runs 5 times and prints a star each time. So I guess now the script print stars should make sense to you.